She's a pretty bird, and she wobbles as she flies. She never.
Right now, rebar's truck's here. We're getting ready to fill the footer. Next step will be the stem wall. That'll be tomorrow.
Here we go.
Oh, I wish I was a mole in the ground. Oh, I wish I was a mole.
We'll be putting the verticals in that attach the footer to the wall.
I drove that mountain down. Oh, I wish I was a mole in the ground. I wish I was a lizard in the
All right, we're to step 3, the day of the pour of the wall. Right before a pour, no matter who you are pouring concrete, you're always nervous. Did I get the forms right? Did we get this right? Did we get the dimension right? Did we brace it right? Well, now it's over. It's time to pour the concrete.
At day 3, Grumpy Yayo explained what we just did. We're getting ready to pour the concrete back in the concrete truck. We got a real high wall to pour here. Tight space.
I'm tall, gonna fill my big old shotgun with a 10-inch
Getting ready to take
iron
apart.
ball. Oh, I wish I was a turtle in a pond. Oh, I wish I was a turtle in a pond. If I was a turtle in a pond, I'd stay there all day long. Oh, I wish I was a turtle in a pond.
I'm making a kit, so I get all the studs cut, all the sill plates lined up, and then we'll assemble it on the ground and tie it all together.
Wine.
Morgan, tell us what we're doing over here.
We're getting ready to raise the east and west walls. We're going to start with the east wall. That's going to be our butt walls. Then we'll be able to put our through walls up, and they'll hit right up against that. So these are the first walls we got. We have our braces ready to go, so that as we lift, we're bracing. It can't come back down on us, and it can't fall the other way because it's just me and you. So we got to put as many extra hands in here as we can. So we're about to get ready to do this. The sun's going down. We don't have much time, so we better get to it.
If I was a mole in the ground, I'd roof that mountain down. Oh, I wish I was a mole in the ground.
All right, Bertha.
Bertha, let your hair hang low. Oh, Bertha, let your hair hang low.
Up the bones for our solar-powered hydronic heated greenhouse. We're going to be lifting the west wall. Got the west wall up. We're getting ready to raise the north walls. We got a 3-foot stem wall that we got to get on top of before we can raise it up. So we just put these sawhorses under it. I'm going to go ahead and put the insulation on the bottom. We got it lined up, and then we'll go ahead and crank it up.
It's the life I lead, yeah, it's the life for me. There's a life I lead, it's the life for me. 'Cause I'm right here, and you are near. We are one, I hear the pace quietly drumming. It's just you and me, standing closely, and you said you see. It's a gift, feeling whole, 'cause I'm right here, and you are near. It's music to my ears, a new song is playing, but I'm right here, and you are near. It's music to my ear.
The barriers we face are soil erosion, water evaporation, a growing season that is too short, winters that are too cold, and summers that are too hot and dry. We live in a food desert. We need to find a way to farm with very little water, on eroded soil that has been stripped of all its nutrients, with too much wind, with no money, and winters that can kill a plant at its root zone. It must be done with renewable energy. It must serve a variety of purposes that all lead back to food and the preservation of water and soil. We will start small scale and expand in the direction the water flows. Our focus is to create heat using renewable energy inside an enclosed growing space. The first step was to choose a method of heat distribution. We looked at infrared heaters, bare steel pipe, and finally landed on something called root zone heating. Root zone heat warms the root zone rather than the air. It is typically installed under growing benches or along the floor. We decided it would be best to use thermal mass in the form of dirt to insulate the heat we generate. The problem we are seeking to solve: drought, coupled with freezing conditions and a short growing season. To do this, we need a way to store water and pump it effectively and inexpensively using renewable energy. This is the only way production for us can remain viable in a challenging climate. So our solution to this problem was to improve our water storage practices using renewable energy with a solar well pump system with a water hub inside an insulated growing space. The combination of a solar pump and the hydronic heating systems will support water conservation and extend our growing season. Our focus is to make efficient use of a limited resource. We call it the Solar and Wind-Powered Hydronic Heated Greenhouse. We applied for LOR's Fieldwork Initiative, which provides funding to farmers and ranchers for research into innovative approaches to using water in agriculture. Applicants are encouraged to present new solutions to long-standing challenges, and so we submitted our application in 2023, and our project was accepted. We were later informed that an application we sent in for a grant through the Fruit Guys Fund was accepted as well. The Fruit Guys Community Fund supports independent American farms and agricultural nonprofits with grants for sustainability projects. The grant we received was to upgrade our ranch utilities to renewable energy by installing a solar well pump, the heart of the project. These two projects are essential to each other and are one and the same. We had to seek alternative ways to collect and preserve the moisture within the ground that happens seasonally and nightly. The system recirculates a small amount of water annually, bringing heat and also condensation into the growing space. Now, our system includes 5 different uses of renewable energy using passive and active solar power. Using a solar well pump system, we pump small amounts of water up from the ground to fill a 300-gallon storage tank where the water is then distributed into 2 tanks, a 30-gallon and an 80-gallon tank. The 30-gallon tank is for regular access, washing hands, cleaning vegetables. The 80-gallon tank is a solar hot water storage tank that is insulated. It also contains a heat distributing coil on the inside, but we'll get back to the coil later. This 80-gallon tank is attached to 1/2-inch PEX tubing that runs through the greenhouse and under the soil with 3 above soil access ports. So it's a big lazy river running the heated water around the greenhouse and recirculating back into the tank. When hot water is accessed through one of the ports, the tank water is replenished by the larger tank and continues circulating. The pumps that power the 24-hour circulation process are running on a battery system connected to 600-watt solar panels and a 400-watt turbine, which can also support lights and a 12-volt electrical outlet inside the greenhouse. The turbine and the panels charge the batteries, and the pumps are pulling energy from them. Now, coming back to the heat exchanging coil located inside the 80-gallon tank. This coil is another lazy river that connects to a passive solar heat collection box or set of boxes in front of the greenhouse, which is filled with an organic food-grade antifreeze called propylene glycol. It's harmless to the skin, it's used in lotions and in different products. It's a synthetic emollient, humectant, ingredient, which can resist the freezing temperatures outside. The propylene glycol is circulated through the heat exchanger starting every day at sunup by this little solar panel. In short, the liquid heats up and circulates back into the tank where the heated glycol enters the copper heat exchanger running through the 80-gallon tank and exchanges heat with the water inside without ever mixing. Going back to the turbine, When the wind is strong and the batteries are charged, the turbine input will be sent into a dump load, which can be a ceramic unit or some electrical unit where the turbine can deposit an infinite amount of energy until the batteries are in need of charging again. In our case, we ran the dump load back into the heat exchanging unit within the solar storage tank where the water can get a second boost in heat on windy days. We also installed a small hydroelectric generator on the hydronic tubing system so that as the water recirculates, the generator spins and sends a trickle charge back into the batteries as well. Because of the humidity created in the enclosed growing space, very little water is actually needed to water plants annually. We use about 15 gallons in a season for a 300 square foot growing space.
Alright, well, we finally are making progress.
The dust blows hard. G minor.
Thank you to the Lore Foundation for making this project possible and accepting our fieldwork project, the solar-powered hydronic heated greenhouse.
Got water!
Solar water! Our final conclusion. With a minimal amount of heat, any well-insulated growing space can grow food through the winter without the use of fossil fuels. The key to success is to conserve every resource available. Conserving is just as important as producing. Harvesting our wind resource creates a reciprocal solution to our heat loss issue.
Hi, I'm Morgan, owner and land steward here at Jackrabbit Hollow Farm and Animal Sanctuary in Antonito, Colorado. I'm standing here in front of the big greenhouse and the solar panels that run the water systems. These solar panels really are the heart of our entire operation. It feeds the hydronic heated greenhouse behind me where we grow our crops year round, and everything really, it starts right here in these panels. Here's our garden and greenhouses where we're growing organic produce year-round. Here's some videos and pics of our sustainability project, Water Conservation Energy Efficiency Initiative, upgrade our well to solar power. Everything depends on this pumping system. We set up this water hub to house all the utilities. We added batteries so we can water at night. We installed an automatic solar drip system and a vapor barrier topsoil to prevent evaporation. Thank you to the Fruit Guys Fund for accepting our project and supporting us in upgrading our water systems to renewable energy. We had a leak last night. It froze. The bulkhead cracked. Water everywhere. You can still see there's some water there. As long as it doesn't freeze the tanks, we're doing good. Let's start with the little tour here. Solar-powered hydronic system has 3 different solar systems. Propylene glycol, it's going to be running through these. This is like an antifreeze. It's also used in cosmetics, so it's harmless to the skin in case there is a leak. It's not going to hurt anybody, but it's also not going to freeze in the winter when it gets cold. During the day, it's going through some panels out there. It's going to heat it up. It's going to pipe through here. We got 2 pumps, so those pumps are going to circulate the propylene glycol in down there, through the coils, back up, out, send it all the way back up through to the east and back out again. Circle like a lazy river. Second lazy river that we have going on is this one. Cold water coming in live from the well, feeds into this, which eventually comes in. Got some pumps covered up here. That's gonna pump the water up into the hot water tank, and that hot water can start getting heated by this propylene glycol antifreeze tubing here that's getting heated by the sun outside. And it comes through, goes down through the soil. I haven't covered up the pipes yet. This is PEX tubing. It's high heat. Goes under the rocks, back up through, under the big tank, and then up, 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 back, making its climb back into the hot water tank. Another lazy river, just a little bit more complex. Okay, we're outside the building now. The solar panels that actually just have coils running through with that propylene glycol, they're getting heated up by the sun. We're behind the big solar panels that run the pumping system. This is running the solar pump. It's got its own system, its own batteries. This is the third system. This runs the pumps. It's a hybrid wind solar system. It's got a 3,000 watt inverter, and this is going to be running the pumps that are going to be circulating the
hot water through the soil day and night, day and night. Now, one of the benefits of getting the turbine is that we added that wind power, which can happen at any time, day or night. So we'll be charging the batteries. We can also turn on a little heater if we have excess wind. That's going to be heating the greenhouse even further. We have a dump loader here, and what this does is anytime the turbine is running but the batteries are charged and the sun is out, you don't want to fry your batteries by overcharging them. The excess energy that's created by that turbine when the wind's blowing and those batteries are charged. One thing we're going to replace this with in the future is a water heating element. I'll be putting a kit PDF together of everything that I purchased to make this work. We got the thermometer up there. It's just a simple thermometer for mechanical, same thing. We got a pressure gauge down here. Okay, we're outside the greenhouse. We're looking at the solar hot water Heliomax system. It's got the hot glycol heating up in the sun right there. It was -5 last night. We didn't have below 30 in the greenhouse. You can see the hot glycol is coming in here. It's going into the tank, coiling around. Now let's check the temperature of the tank. All right, so we got 80 degrees right there. That would be inside the water. Now let's check what the hot glycol is coming in at. 103.7. It's amazing how you shine. The stars would ask you to light the road ahead.
Adapt, customize, and join resources.
In the stars, a planet like
This is our final report, Jackrabbit Hollow Farm.
Saturn. You can hear so far that you and I love you and me, and here we are.
All right, let's go. Life started in water. It is the molecule that binds us and dissolves nutrients into usable energy. Water is a carrier and a catalyst to a chemical reaction that is the very essence of life. The importance of our water is boundless.
We'll sing songs for wild children, write our life in a composition. Will you take us on a vision to the stars? Oh, you and I will travel through time, feed our dinosaur a clementine. We'll fly missions in our spare time to Jupiter. Oh, baby mine, it's amazing how you shine. The stars would ask you to light the road ahead of them.
To light the road ahead of them.
In the stars, a planet like Mars, with rings like Saturn, you can hear so far that you and I love you and me, and here we are.
We're in Earth. We're in Saturn. That's really fun.
Got the snacks?
Yeah, we got clementines.
We will watch this universe show, build a snow castle on the go, talk about all the things we know, like you plus me equals we. Oh, baby mine, it's amazing.
Thank you for watching our description of the solar and wind-powered hydronic heated greenhouse, sponsored by the Lore Foundation and the Fruit Guys Fund. If you would like to know more, we'll be posting a free online PDF with all the parts, pieces, and kits we purchased to create this system. Follow us on social media at Jackrabbit Hollow and Santuario de Rancho Farm Animal Sanctuary.
You and I love you and me, and here we are.
Here we are. We're together.